I think if I had to choose one gameplay highlight of this, it would actually be that it does a little bit of a better job of showcasing other special weapons. Thinking about the rolling shield thing from last episode, I don't think it does all of them justice. I think, if anything else, it kind of makes Shotgun Ice even less interesting than it was. Barring the Stink Melee, or hold on. A little burnt out right now. Spark Mandrill. Barring that fight, I don't really think Shotgun Ice has any value anywhere. Well, that and Track Spider. I still refuse to call him Bow Spider. I don't care that it's actually referred to by name in this one. I don't care. Bow Spider's a stupid name. Track Spider's cooler. And it's from my childhood. Don't care. So, more changes to Storm Tornado, making it very questionably strange on what it is and isn't good against. You can fire right through those shields. And then this is the area that I was talking about, primarily with things that can't or could be blocked, cannot. Passing through these weirdly detailed laser gates will fire the eye lasers from those guys, and while it doesn't happen here, those lasers will now destroy the rolling shield, which was not the case originally. That's the whole thought there. I do still get to plow through this a little bit more. Unfortunately, it doesn't block those either. I don't know if it did in the original. I don't think it did.
I don't think so either.
I would never really use it there, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. And here, I try to trivialize this newly refreshed tower, because rather than having the hovering copter enemies, I hate that I remembered some of the enemies, not all of them, it is now the wheels, and, you know, I think that makes it a little bit more of an interesting section combat-wise, but it's still a slog. It feels slower. The spike patterns are a little bit different. I don't really think it's ever been overly challenging, and now it's just kind of present. I don't have anything to talk about for this tower. I will say that I don't think the electric on the side is an instant kill, so that's also different from the spikes lining it, which again is kind of an instance of why. I will say I do like the city backdrop out behind here. I think that's a nice touch. I really like kind of old-ish Japanese-style future cities. It's very similar to, like, the cities in Dragon Ball, where it's all kind of capsule-y and bubbly and tall, but on sticks instead of actual structurally sound buildings. Unfortunately, we no longer see that cool backdrop, which makes this change even more insufferable, because moving up this tower in this version of the game, for whatever reason, just feels terrible. This is one of my least favorite parts, gameplay or level-wise, of this game, and it's a real bummer because I think it's made me appreciate how smooth you can move up the tower in the original. It's not something that I ever thought about because it's just a thing that I got good at, and then like, oh, I'm just gonna blow through the tower, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's just a level. But now I'm grossly aware of how good it was previously and how sloppy it is now, and it's just, again, the movement is a little bit chunkier. And now we try the thing that I only learned for the original full collection Let's Play series, wherein you can use Shotgun Ice's Penguin Surfboard to get this heart tank without the boomerang cutter. Except now, A, it's not a penguin anymore, or at least not a very clear one, and B, you just don't have the fucking time or movement to do it anymore.
Yeah, this has dropped like a fucking rock.
Yeah, like, I thought that maybe it was just a little bit of a timing change and that I'd be able to do it if I kept at it, but even knowing that this fall is coming, it is just... I'm fairly confident to say impossible. Maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it.
Yeah, just looking at it, the physics do not look like they'd support it.
They really don't. Props to this in 3D, though. I like that the platforms that you are standing on for this portion are actually visible, rotating all the way throughout the tower interior in the background. I like that kind of thing. I like contextualizing floating platforms, quote-unquote. Unfortunately, I keep botching this super easy movement because it just doesn't... I don't really know how to explain it, especially since I'm not holding the controller and playing right now as we're watching and commenting over this, but it just doesn't feel the same as the original, and I know that it's...
That because you were using an Xbox One controller emulating a PSP, or...
I think it might still be the game, at least in part.
So, you've made it this far.
I love you, Boomer Quanger!
Looks like Sigma was right about you. You've got potential. potential.
I think I might actually think his redesign is the best.
For a B-class hunter, you certainly learn quickly from your experiences in
I really like all of the detail on his joints. Like, he looks like a ball and socket model, and then he'd just be like weird and kind of insect clacky and move around really spindly, and it's just great. And now we're going to see none of that because he is going to slow the game down just horrendously.
Oh god, right.
So,
Shit.
yeah, watching this twice because of the refights later on is going to be insufferable for you all. And I'm sorry because I really don't have that much to talk about. I think some of the dialogue in this might actually infer that they're going with the manga design of him, where he can move so fast because the entire tower is his processor, and that technically this room is his brain, so you're fighting inside his head, which is super Japanese and weird and isn't alluded to in the original game, so it's not canon. But again, I think they might kind of vaguely reference it somehow. I think maybe it's in like the instruction manual or his articles. Either way, that's an excuse for me to talk about that and not have to suffer through this insane lag. I'm trying to get him to do deadlift here because I wanted to see how it looked in 3D, and I'm fairly certain he doesn't in this fight, and then it's like all he does to me in the refight, which just makes me angry, but yeah, it's not cooperating. Pretty sure I'm going to peg him with a missile in just a second.
So, when it comes to Maverick Hunter X versus the other one, Powered Up, like, Mega Man 1 sucked. Like, the levels sucked originally,
Largely,
so I can definitely see wanting to make completely new versions of those levels that don't suck.
Yeah.
But the X1 levels don't suck, so...
They're very masterfully designed.
Yeah, so there's not much reason to go back and remix them.
Yeah.
So. And, like, the X1 bosses are a lot more complex than just jump and shoot, other than Gutsman.
Yeah.
So, like, I can understand why they didn't put in the effort, but I don't know. Anyway, collection episode.
Oh god, alright, I'm ready to not actually be able to read any of this. Our frame rate is lagging to shit. You need the headbutt to get there.
Boop. We're way past that.
Yeah, so I lost where I was at because we had to pause. But yeah, headbutt to get the sub-tank, freeze to get that. Boomerang cutter to get here still. Oh, this pisses me off. Look at how much that model clips through, but they still decide to preserve the you have to jump to get it to go low, which on one hand I kind of appreciate, but on the other hand, just fuck off. If it's visually intersecting that much, then just do it. A lot of boomerang cutter. And again, all of the stage change elements still work here. So, like, beating Launch Octopus still floods the area, and Stinking Alien stage, stuff like that. Which I appreciate none of that changing up, even if the level order doesn't really play to it very well. It still happens, so that's fun.
And collection episode done.
That's nice. I wanted to showcase this, too. This is one of the few instances... Actually, I think it's the only instance other than
X8.
X8 where you can replay the intro stage. And I really just wanted to burn through it real quick with the full power because I kind of felt like this will be cool. Like, just go through with Storm Tornado and the dash and see how much it changes it up. And it's hard to say because, you know, it's not the same exact gameplay as the original, but it's still pretty fucking fun to be able to one-shot Beefladers and stuff. So, this is a neat little treat. There's not really a lot to talk about with it. It's just kind of a cool thing that you can do in this. And it's also kind of like the opposite problem as Awake Road again in X7, where on the back of the X7 box it shows X in the intro stage, but he can never be there, whereas this one we have a remastering of the classic game where both versions of X can do the intro stage, so I don't know.
Also, this one remakes the intro stage good.
Yeah, there's also that. Also, good opportunity to stop and appreciate some of the remastered music in this. That's a little crunchy, so maybe not. I gestured towards the screen like it was some wonderful offering to you all, and then the game basically pooped on me, so I apologize. But yeah, really good soundtrack in this too, which is a nice touch.